Hey, welcome everybody on this. I guess I'm here on the East Coast, New York. This very cold, like down in like the below zeros and single digits. Happy New Year, Ara. Anthony, we're here. So we're gonna kind of hop right into things. But welcome to tuning in for Incredichat tonight. Tonight we're gonna do a little something different. We're gonna talk theme parks. And I think what I wrote in there was, maybe cold outside, but where our guest tonight is, I don't know how cold it is there, but never too soon to start thinking about summer vacation. It is very cold, yes. So yeah, it's never too soon to think about summer vacation, and there's a lot of stuff going on down in Florida. What a way to start the year with an educational travel show. Absolutely, because that's right. It is not too soon to talk about summer vacation. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you from Rich's Theme Parks and Travel, our good friend, Rich Prehart. Welcome,
Hello.
Rich.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, I told you that was going to happen pretty quick.
Hey, it's all good. It's all good. Everybody can join us. People are already saying they've never been to Disney World and always want to go there. Rich, tell us a little bit about yourself. Welcome, first of all, to Incredichat. I know you shared this is your first time doing a podcast.
A podcast, yep.
Mm-hmm. But and please tell us, you do a video blog. You got a good amount of videos, and you got a good amount of followers. So introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing.
Yep. So my name is Rich, and I live here in Orlando, and I just love going through theme parks, doing videos, doing vlogs, doing ride POV shows, all that fun stuff that people love to see at the theme parks.
Gotcha. And there's so much, and I think there's a lot of bloggers.
There's a lot,
and there's a lot of websites. But that being said, there is so much in regards to parks down there in the Orlando area or even Florida, right? There's plenty of content, I think, for everybody, and then everybody brings something
right
to it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree.
So I'll just ask you, what got you started? What made you want to create your vlog?
So, funny story, my dad used to do a lot of videos around the parks as we used to go as a family, and I always used to see him do that. I'm like, well, this seems a lot of fun to do, and when I got my first camera, I used to go to theme parks in New Jersey all the time, film there. I'm like, well, if I could do this here, I'm gonna go to Orlando and do it where there's more. And I just love doing it around here. It's great.
Yeah, and I know you said you're from Jersey, so I mean, obviously you got your Six Flags.
And yes, Great Adventures where I used to go all the time. I had season passes for years.
Gotcha. And I'm sure you probably made the trip over to Sesame Place or over to Hershey Park.
Actually, on my YouTube channel, I have vintage videos from Sesame Place, Hershey, and Six Flags that my dad recorded, which is cool.
Oh, so that's cool. So that's a beautiful thing. So if people want a little bit of a blast to the past.
Exactly.
You can go back and check it out. Because I mean, I live up in New York, obviously.
Right.
And I've been to Sesame Place multiple times. Probably, I have a 12-year-old, so in the last 12 years, I've been there multiple times, and in the last 12 years, it has changed drastically. So I don't know how far back your video dates, but I've seen some of the old maps online, and it's
the last time I went, 2001.
Okay, so and again,
so it's been a while.
Yeah, that was before the Monster Playland that they have there now.
I didn't even know about that.
Oh, see, there you go. They have a whole.
But actually, right. And speaking of Sesame Street, we have Sesame Street Land here at SeaWorld.
Gotcha.
I love it there. It's fantastic.
Well, and the thing is, I don't know if everybody realizes this or not. So Sesame Place is owned, I guess Busch Gardens owns.
Busch Gardens, SeaWorld, Sesame Place. I forget the company name that owns them all. Honestly, there's a company name that owns all those theme parks.
Yeah, so they're all under the same umbrella. So even if you're down in Busch Gardens in Virginia,
right. Like I have a SeaWorld Orlando pass, but I also have a pass to Busch Gardens connected to that pass, which is awesome.
Gotcha. So and it gets you into everything then, I guess, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Nice. And it's funny, so Aura's like, how are you able to afford going to Disney World often? And it's funny, we were just talking before coming on the air about the upcoming new Epic
Universe at Universal.
How much now you're down in Florida. I know Floridians get a special rate for the parks. Let me ask, what is it going rate for Epic Universe or whatever it is?
Well, right now for Epic Universe, the only way that people could go is if you're an annual pass holder. You could buy a one-day ticket, or you have to buy a 3-park pass to go. That's the only way. They're not selling any single-day tickets unless you're a pass holder.
Gotcha.
That's the only way.
And that's not officially open yet, but it's opening this spring, right? I think like
Yeah,
April,
May 22nd it opens.
May 20. And so I mean, and I'll ask you this question too, and I want to dig into. People are asking about Muppets
Yeah.
and stuff. I want to dig into this. Somebody who's down in the parks a lot down there in Florida. How often do you get to the parks? Let me just ask you that question.
Well, I try to go like once every 2 weeks, depending like if there's something big going on that I want to
Gotcha.
go cover and such, or if I just feel like just wanting to go.
Gotcha.
Like
So I'm gonna
right
ask
now
you.
with the cooler weather is like when I like to go a lot.
Oh yeah, and I mean everybody's in school, so the crowds are a little thinner.
Right.
So, but now let me ask you this question in regards
Sure.
because talking summer vacation. It's January now, booking trips, and I mean by far neither you or I are travel advisors, so don't take any of our word. But let me ask you, Epic Universe is getting a lot of hot press. You know,
Mm-hmm.
they got monsters, they got more Harry Potter, they got the
The Super
Dragon,
Nintendo.
Super Nintendo, huge properties, right?
Yep.
Do you think for somebody who wants to travel to Orlando or the Kissimmee area this summer, and I don't want to say avoid Epic Universe because I think everybody's going to be
You
flocking.
need to go. If you have the opportunity, you need to go.
But that being said, is this probably a good summer or summer year to go to the Disney parks because
Oh.
a lot of the crowds are going to be heading over to Universal? What do you think on that?
So I think it's always a good time to get to the parks, but the thing is, with Epic Universe, with how strict their passes are, with getting tickets, it could be a hit or miss this summer. Honestly, once they open day tickets to everybody, I think that's when you'll start seeing the crowds, dimmer down a little bit. But I still think it's a good time to go for sure.
And I mean, again, Universal, and this is where we're going to go into Disney. Universal is truly doing something huge and relatively in a quick time. And I forgot to mention the monsters.
Yeah.
That's one of the like the turnaround time for Epic Universe and how fast they built that is
What's mind blowing is that they still had a setback with COVID and the pandemic, and they're going to be open this year. They started like the year before.
yeah. And each of these things is like their own parks too. Like Epic Universe is its own thing.
Their own lands, like Super Nintendo, How to Train Your Dragon, all of that's going to be in one park with the hotel right there.
Gotcha. But I'm assuming like you could probably go into Nintendo World, spend the day in Nintendo World.
Oh yeah, it's going to be that big. It's going to be huge.
And that's the thing. And so let's talk Disney now, because Disney has a lot of things that have been announced.
So many things.
There really hasn't been anything new at Disney. What's the newest thing? And I went down to Disney, I think, in 2021, right after the pandemic, 2021.
Yeah.
Right? So what's...
God, I'm trying to think.
Or was it 2020? Because I know...
I feel like it's Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, the roller coaster at Epcot. I feel like that's in Tron. Yes, Tron's the newest thing. Tron.
So or I just wanted to know. So it's better to go in the spring. What do you think, Ray?
I went spring break with my family last year. It was manageable but busy.
Yeah, but if you were to go like in March before spring break hits, or like,
Yeah. I think like I'm trying to like. It's just so hard to figure out when all the schools go. Like try to go like when like majority of the schools up north have their spring break, go like the week before, then try to go vice versa.
Correct.
Like that, yeah.
But now, and also she wrote Splash Mountain closed and got revamped since I've been there last. So
yeah.
So again, the Disney magic, the Disney parks, there's a lot of closures coming up, and I know a lot of people are
like Splash Mountain Country Bear Jamboree got changed.
Yep. And then someone just said railroad train ride is closed for renovations right now.
No, I don't think the train is closed. I think they're just doing a little bit of construction on the platform downstairs. I don't think the train is closed at the moment.
Gotcha. But
yeah.
Disney, I guess they want to try some new things out, but they also need to add some new things. So
it's just I don't like touching the classics. That's the thing.
Exactly. So from your perspective, you're there every 2 weeks. What are you seeing as some of the hit and misses that are going and coming?
Okay, so I went the day after Dinorama closed last week, and it's hard to see it go, but you just have to tell yourself, good things are coming. Good things are coming. It's just like you had great memories here. It's just time to look forward to what's coming.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah. So I mean, I think what's coming over at Animal Kingdom, there's an
Hmm.
Indiana Jones thing coming,
It's going to
right?
be called the Tropical Americas with Indiana Jones and Encanto,
Oh, and Kanto's going to be there.
and
What
also
about
to a new character carousel as well.
oh, a new character. Okay.
Yeah,
Now they're not doing anything with Black Panther, right? Because I think that's more of a Disneyland thing. I
that's
thought.
Disneyland because with the contract at Universal, we can't have too much Marvel at the Disney parks.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yeah.
So how we were able to get Guardians of the Galaxy is because they didn't have anything over there. So now Disney took that.
Gotcha.
Right.
Gotcha. And I think that Marvel license is ending very soon.
Yeah, I'm not sure when, so I'm not sure what's going to happen after that.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm sure we're going to see more appearances from the Marvel characters there. And I
Which
also
would be perfect. I mean, honestly.
and then I also saw something online recently too that with um, the Marvel license expiring over at Universal, The Simpsons is also going to be expiring soon too.
And
And
there's a rumor that Pokemon's going to take over.
over where The Simpsons
For
are,
the Simpsons, that would be awesome. That would be a huge hit.
that would be a very
That
smart
would
move.
be huge.
But that being said, I also saw a rumor that Springfield may be going to Disney somewhere. So,
There's only one potential landing spot where I could see that going.
where do you think that would be?
So for when they announced Monsters, I thought for sure that was going to go at Launch Bay, but I could see maybe Simpsons go where Star Wars Launch Bay is. That could be a possibility at Hollywood Studios.
Now, Star Wars Launch Bay, just remind me that's where Star Tours
So
is.
it's like towards where the front of the park is. That's where like the Little Mermaid show is, and then the Star
Yeah.
Wars Launch Bay is where the Star Wars characters have the meet and greet.
Oh, I see what you're saying now. Okay.
So that could, but I also heard a rumor that might be where the Incredibles area goes down the road or something like that too.
Wow. Wow.
So
I mean,
there's just so much that could be done.
I do think The Simpsons would fit in very well in the Hollywood studios. I think,
Or a brand new park, that would be even better.
but there haven't been any rumblings of any new parks down there, have there been?
No.
I mean, I'm sure they have the property, but again, I think the
It's
big
just
thing
the money and
correct, and I think they need to get in place all of these things that have been announced already
right.
and up there because I know some people are commenting here in the chat, and you see this is that again, there's a lot of closings, there's a lot of refurbishment, and I mean honestly, every time I go down there, it seems like something's closed.
I like that one comment. Nintendo is taking over Universal. I'm totally okay with that. I'm totally
Well,
okay with that.
you know, and to add to your Pokemon comment, I heard that Sonic may take over the Marble area down there, which would also make some sense.
I mean, I could see that too. Honestly, I could
Yeah.
see that.
Because that was a Universal flick, wasn't it? No,
I'm
Universal.
not a huge Sonic fan, but I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
it's Universal.
And so yeah, there's a lot. So now we're on Disney Studios. So let's talk Disney Studios. So Monsters Inc. Land is coming, right to where the Muppets are, and what about the Disney characters meet and greet? Yeah, they have them constantly. You can, and they're on the app. You can look and see
What characters are meeting where? Yeah.
you know. But so the Monsters. When is Monsters set to open?
There's not an opening date, but they say construction's going to start this year. So, but the weird thing is, they haven't announced a Muppets closing date yet.
Got you. But
but actually, when they had made all these announcements after D23, actually, me and Anthony's Florida Adventures went around to the parks. We did a speculation video, thinking where all the new stuff is going to go.
yeah.
And then he pointed out that Muppets would be a good fit, and unfortunately, he was right.
No, I
And
mean,
I was very sad to see that happen.
and you know, a lot of people are talking, and I want to go back to some comments here in the chat about the Muppets. So, and again, I am a huge Muppets fan. And
Me too.
But
I love Monsters Inc. too, though. That's where it's like, it's hard.
Well, and here's the difficult thing with the Muppets. Like, the Muppets was a cool, again, it's not a busy attraction by all
Right,
means.
and they want people in one area, not secluded.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And it was a good attraction for when it's raining or when it's too hot. People need to go and cool off.
Or
But
if you're like me and just want to go watch it.
Yeah, and I'm sure you've been in there plenty of time, and people are napping just because they need a break. But the thing, and I think this is what they should have done years ago. The movie and the pre-show are fantastic.
That is the best pre-show out of any Disney attraction, too, which I'm also going to miss.
Yeah,
It was
And
amazing. It was so enjoyable. It made the time go by quick.
yep, and it kept and it's the three monitors. Um,
Yep.
but the history of that, it was Jim's final work.
Final work, right?
The,
But
the,
I didn't realize that he actually unfortunately passed before the job got finished.
Frank
So he
Osmond,
never got to see the final work.
yeah, Frank finished it,
Yeah, right.
and obviously the Henson team. That's why in the pre-show, none of Jim's characters were there because he wasn't there for that. And honestly,
Oh,
I believe,
wow.
and if I'm not mistaken, the pre-show was Richard Hunt. That was his last performance with the Muppets too, because I know he was sick at that time. So there's a lot of love and there's a lot of history. I know that people are talking about what they can do to preserve it, what's next for it. I do believe.
I heard rumors. Whenever you're done.
Oh, well, I was going to say I heard that the fountain can be relocated, which is fine. But let's hear what you heard.
Okay, so I can't say for sure that this is going to happen or not, but I've been hearing just people discuss it. So you do know that the Muppets are going to be taking over Rock and Roller Coaster, right?
Yes.
But there's a building next to it, and for the next several years, there's going to be a new villain show.
Yes.
So people are wondering when Villains Land opens at Magic Kingdom, will that show potentially move to Magic Kingdom? And then when that show leaves there, they put Muppet Vision there and make that a full Muppets Courtyard again.
Interesting.
That would make a lot of sense.
Interesting.
So I would be totally okay if they could say Muppet Vision and we see it again in like 2 years. I would love that.
But they
I
would
don't
have
want to.
But the villain show, that's an open stadium, though, where that's going to be, right?
It's a closed. It's a closed stadium.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yep.
Because
It was where the Lightning McQueen Racing Academy was.
Oh, all right. Oh, okay.
So it's that building right next to Rock and Roller Coaster.
So that would actually be good because see
Right.
that's so here are the cons about or the pros. It'd be great if Disney did something with it. The cons are
Not on Disney Plus. We don't want that.
well, and how do you do that on Disney? How do you do it
Right.
on Disney Plus? That's
Right.
the other thing too. Like, I mean, can it be done? I mean, do people
Yeah,
have
a modified version of it.
and do people have copies of it? Maybe.
I have the pre-show on my YouTube channel many times.
Correct.
That's not enough for me.
Yeah, so I mean, of course there are copies going around, but the thing of the matter is how do you do the pre-show on Disney Plus? I mean, you just have obviously in widescreen you have the three screens. It loses that charm, and of course
Right. Because the characters walk in between the TVs and
correct.
it's just so unique. It's so unique.
And then you can show the movie on TV. Yeah, absolutely, that could be a feature. On
It's
Disney Plus.
not the same unless I get like 3 TVs in my living room and I can watch the pre-show.
Well, but more importantly, is how do you get Sweetums coming out? How do you get Bean and Statler and Waller going? How do you get the chef in the back? There's no way to show that.
But I feel like that theater next to Rock and Roller Coaster would be great because it's not as big as Muppet Vision Theater, and if that doesn't get that many people, then that's a perfect fit.
They can do an abbreviated thing in there.
Right, and then the whole Muppets Courtyard area is back with the new roller coaster.
Well, and then because the other thing too, and I'm actually wearing your Muppet shirt too. I'll throw out there.
Yep, I had to. I was like, if we're gonna be discussing Muppets, I had to.
But the other thing is too, and which is true about Rock and Roller Coaster, is it's not a ride for everybody.
Yeah, which people are saying now I can't see the Muppets because it's on an intense ride,
Yeah.
which I get that too. So that's hard to. I feel that like, I don't know.
Yeah, Grandma can't go and see the Muppets now.
Oh God.
Even 48-year-old me, there might come a point where Rock and Roller Coaster might be too much for me. So, and
I better
want
get on it as soon as it opens before my body gives out.
that's like, right. I'll give it a shot. But I think Rock and Roller Coaster is a perfect fit. My hope, I'm gonna throw some hopes out there. If anybody from Disney's tuning in and watching this, did you watch Muppets Mayhem on Disney Plus? I'm sure you did.
I started watching some of it, but I didn't finish it.
Oh my
Yeah,
God!
I know. I
You
know it's
finish
bad.
it. So the artwork that they put, you got the band, you got the whole Mayhem, and you got Kermit and Piggy. Now,
And
obviously,
Dr. Teeth too.
yeah. So obviously, Kermit and Piggy are going to have to be a part of the show and the ride, But the band's going to be the focus, and I don't know how deep you got into the show. And I'm gonna plug this character, Penny Waxman, who was like their agent, voiced by the amazing Leslie Ferrero Rudolph, performed
So
by the amazing Leslie.
that's
Ferrero.
probably going to be in the pre-show of the ride.
They need to, so if anybody from Disney's watching this or has any pull at Disney, get Leslie back and bring Penny Waxman
And
on
for
there.
the actual ride, they need to put moving right along on the ride. If not, they just lost the perfect opportunity.
But that's not rock and roll. It's gonna have to be straight up. Come on, it's gonna have to be like these things here. I'm gonna pull it right out because I have it. I have it right here.
I just love the Muppet Classic songs, and yeah.
Wow, it's got to be the stuff from the album, from the Mayhem album.
Wow.
Yeah, so
that's awesome.
You got to, and it's got to be psychedelic, and it's got to be awesome. So there's a place for Kermit and Piggy, but I definitely think we need to really focus on the band. I think that let the band shine. I just hit the camera. So there's that. So that's the Disney studio. Good, right? And I like how you mentioned over where that launch pad thing is. That such a sad courtyard where Little Mermaid was.
I know. But that show is opening this summer, by the way. They say.
Okay.
It's going to reopen this year. So, and that's where when me and Anthony went to go look at speculation, I was like, how is that going to work with Little Mermaid right there, and then Star Wars behind it? Like, how would they put the Monsters Inc. land over there?
It's Disney. And then, I'm just going to say, chances are in this new Rock and Roller Coaster, it's going to be it won't be Jim.
It won't be what?
Some want to know, will it be voiced by Jim through archive recording? If they re-air Muppet Vision and put that in a new, that will be Jim. But for
they could take his pre-recorded voice though and mix some things up, but I think they're gonna go with something else, unfortunately, and I hate to say that.
No, but for the new ride, it'll definitely be that little bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Same thing with the band. It's gonna be
right.
It's gonna for the Muppets. It will be the current voices of the Muppets doing them. But so you got that. But yeah, we lost the art of animation thing was fantastic. I used to love that area.
Yep, that was over right there where Launch Bay was, I believe.
Correct. Yeah. Right.
I never got to do that.
Oh my god. So
I've seen videos.
Yeah, and it was a cool tour. The only thing was that it wasn't a cool tour when you walked there and nobody was working. Like, it was just empty desks. Like, oh, this is cool. And I think that was part of it too. And I think they relocated. Part of the reason that closed was because it relocated to Los Angeles, their animation, which made sense. But
yeah,
the Disney Studios had so much potential because obviously the history of the Disney Studios. It was a fully functional production studio.
Movie park, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, and I know a couple of them, and I know our friends from Billows did Mickey Mouse Club. That's where they did Britney Spears,
I believe. Yep.
Justin Timberlake, all those people came from. They were all hanging out in the parks like 30, 40 years ago. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
30 years ago. So that was cool. So now let's move on from there. Animal Kingdom. Let's talk Animal Kingdom. So sure. Indiana Jones and Encanto. Dinosaurs are all gone, right?
Well, not yet. Just the Dinorama area.
Yeah.
Dinosaurs are going to be remaining open for the rest of the year.
Gosh, that little car, and I know I saw in your video they already have like the plants up there and stuff. So
that was sad to see. That was tough.
But I was never a fan of that area anyway. I mean, the dinosaur ride was cool, but the rest of that stuff, it's like carnival rides, and I don't go to Disney to go on carnival rides.
I mean, that makes sense.
But the dinosaur ride is amazing because, I mean, obviously over at Universal you got Jurassic Park, but nobody really remembers the dinosaur movie that Disney put out. It's like the dinosaur flick that Disney had put out, where the ride, and I forget the name of the dinosaur. There's a statue of it up there, but he's the main character of the dinosaur movie. So
wait, you said a film?
Yeah, the movie Dinosaur.
The movie Dinosaur. I was thinking of the TV show at first. I was like, wait, what?
Oh, well,
that was amazing.
They were at the Disney Studios at one time.
I know they were. I saw the vintage photo. I'm like, oh my god,
so
I was born at the wrong time.
There you go. But yeah, so it's crazy. Again, just like Muppet Vision, you have this ride from this movie that came out like 20 years ago. That really people don't remember. It's not one of Disney's classic films, if you will, but it lives there. Anything else new going on over at Animal Kingdom?
Yes, the Zootopia. It's Tough to Be a Bug is going to be leaving soon for a new Zootopia 3D show.
Gotcha.
And they're saying that the Zootopia 3D show is going to be opening this December, but they haven't closed the Stuff to Be a Bug yet, which is very interesting. I would feel like they would have to close it now to prepare to open by December.
Like with the animatronics and all that stuff.
Right, because that show is very interactive, so I'm like, unless they're not going to disappoint with not having animatronics, so like... Yeah. I'm surprised it's still open, honestly. I mean, it's a good ride, but I'm ready for change for that one.
Yeah, and again, been there for a long time. Let me ask
Right.
you this craziness now too. Let's go over to Pandora. Let's talk Pandora, which is still a popular area,
Very
but
popular.
I mean the boat the main ride is fantastic. The boat ride and medium. It's,
It's good. It's just not worth more, in my opinion, than a 30-minute wait.
well, exactly because now and this you know exactly where I'm going with this. Is the animatronic back or is it still the projection?
Oh no, it's back. It's been there. I haven't been on in a while, but it's there.
Okay, so when I went last, and I remember there was a hoopla online about it, was they had that projection of the
And
animatronic,
people were very upset about that because like they want to see the main animatronic, and
and they're like, "This is what I waited online for."
it's a very good, enjoyable boat ride. It's just the effects are really cool.
Yeah,
Really cool.
but again, it's too long of a wait for such a little payoff to see that animatronic.
It's like it's a small world, but Pandora.
Exactly. So there's that. Nothing going on new with the safaris, right? That's it.
No, that's all the same still.
Yeah, and then before coming on it, we were talking about kite tails, which was a disaster.
I enjoyed it, but just the stories I heard after like performance after performance, it got bad reviews.
Yeah, I mean, you're beholden to the elements too with that. So,
Yeah.
you know, like when I go to the parks, you know, Animal Kingdom. I don't know about you, is not one of my particular big go-tos. Like,
I mean, I could see it. I mean, I like going it, but I totally understand that because of the half-day vibe, and people want the full day's worth, and I get that.
you know, because and like, especially if you want to see the animals, you got to be there at a certain time. Otherwise, they're all sleeping or hiding because they get it done. The Florida heat gets to them. And now let's go over to Epcot Center. What's cooking at Epcot?
So right now it's the Festival of the Arts.
Okay.
Their art festival. It's really good. They have lots of paintings and art for sale, and lots of good food, some cool performances. Other than that, they do have a new Spaceship Earth lounge opening later this year, which is going to be behind Spaceship Earth, and it's actually for everybody, not just for DVC, not just for pass holders. It's actually going to be for everybody.
And what are they going to have in that?
Where at?
What are they going to have inside that?
It's going to be like tables. I think they're going to have a bar, like for people to enjoy, and I'm actually looking forward to seeing that.
Nice. And then is the Moana thing open now, or?
Yes, that's open. That's been open actually. It's a great walkthrough. It's fantastic.
And that's literally all it is a walk. It's not a ride.
Yeah, it's a walkthrough where you play with water and stuff like that, like how she does in the movie, and it's really cool.
Well, and again, good for cooling off.
Right. Exactly.
Good for cooling off. And then outside of the Spaceship Earth, I know obviously Guardians is huge over there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean,
I've been on it many times.
I have not been. We're planning on going this summer, so that's
Okay.
on the to-do list.
Definitely.
But Guardians is huge. Test Track, is that still open? Because I know that was open.
Yes. No, that is under refurbishment right now. They're saying it's going to open this year. They didn't give us a date yet though.
Gotcha.
But they're still working on it.
Gotcha. Now, did you ever ride the original Test Track?
No, I haven't actually. I don't believe I did. I have to look back at videos, but I think I started. I don't know actually. Maybe I did, because this is 3.0 that they're saying, Test Track 3.0.
Oh, is it real? I thought.
And then the last one, I must have rode the original actually.
Yeah.
I had to have.
Yeah. The building was a lot different, and it was more like I don't want to use whereas this is like the cool like racing thing. The original one was more like automotive.
The World of Motion, because that I didn't do.
No, I don't remember doing that. What are people's thoughts still on Mission Space?
Won't see me on there.
But
my days of that are over.
well, that's the thing, and that used to be a hot ride. People love that ride.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, someone passed away on that ride.
I didn't know that.
Somebody had a heart attack many years ago. But the motion
God.
sickness aspect of it, because I don't see a lot of people raving about that kind of ride.
Right.
I think it's just like you said, your days are past on it. My days are 110%.
Nope. I won't step foot near that ride anymore.
Yeah. I felt sick the last time I was on it. It's like no good. And then obviously you have
we had a question in the chat.
Okay. Which one?
What do you think of the Princess and the Frog ride?
Oh, well, let's hold that. We're gonna come back to that because I want to.
Because we haven't got to Magic Kingdom yet.
Yeah, well, let's finish up World Showcase. Anything
Yeah.
cooking over on World Showcase before we get over?
Nope, just the Ratatouille and Frozen rides are still long waits, but they're doing really good and they are fantastic rides.
Ratatouille's good. I haven't done
Yes,
that one yet
very
either.
good. I highly recommend it.
Gotcha. Now, from what I've seen online, is it kind of like a Ratatouille, kind of like Rise of the Skywalker kind of thing? Not Rise of the
Like
Skywalker. What the
Rise of the
hell?
Resistance.
Yeah,
So it's more like Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway at Hollywood Studios.
Okay.
It's trackless, but it's not like more. It's not as big as Rises, but it's a great ride though.
Gotcha. I'm looking forward to that.
Yes.
So
Are you
yeah.
staying at a resort, by the way, real fast?
I don't know yet. Probably.
Okay, because if you do, you get early entry, and I recommend getting on Ratatouille first.
That's probably the first one.
Yeah.
Well, I want to go to that in a minute too because because there's a whole bunch of things I saw about the tickets. But
yeah, that's fine.
Let's jump over to Magic Kingdom. So
Sure.
yeah, Tiana's Bayou Adventure. So goodbye Splash Mountain, hello Tiana. What are your thoughts on that? Again, I haven't been on it yet, so
I will be 100% honest.
Yeah.
I was not okay with the change at first. I was very upset about it because I love Splash.
Yeah.
But that all changed when I went on for the first time. I'm like, wow, this is a great replacement. They couldn't have done the ride any better than I could have imagined. It was so good.
Yeah.
And now I love it. It's great. It's honestly the best choice they could have did.
Yeah. I mean, you got the voice cast back for it. You know, from what I've seen of the audio animatronics, those are fantastic.
Yeah, they're really good. And I was a huge Splash fan. I loved it.
I mean, but again, you'll bring Song of the South to Disney Plus. Maybe one day. I don't know.
There's reasons, and I'm sure we all know them.
Yeah.
They're saying like racism, and I'm like,
maybe one day they'll do something with it. Who knows? But yeah, Splash Mountains, those animatronics were definitely dated.
Yeah, they had their day. Their days were numbered too.
Yeah, especially like when you look and see what they've done with Tiana.
The only thing with Tiana is though it does break down quite often.
Does it really?
Like, yeah, I went over. Actually, I haven't been in a while. I went to go ride it in the summertime. I had a virtual queue for it, and it broke down before I left, and I never got to go on.
Interesting. Now, do you know? Can you attribute to what the causes are of these regular breakdowns?
I don't know, but I just wonder if it's just the track system is just up there in age and it's just hard to run, or
because I mean, not for nothing, Splash did close a lot too.
Oh yeah, it definitely did. I actually got evacuated off of it one time.
I did once too, and got some cool behind the scenes photos of it, like going down the mountain.
It was funny because one of my best friends from Jersey was visiting, and that was one of her first rides. I'm like, well, this is how your vacation starts.
But yeah,
I'm like, wow.
The track, it's the same. It literally is the same exact ride, just with different
just with the ride layover.
Yeah, so I mean, the track system is with age is the age.
But definitely give it a chance, though. It's very, very good.
Nice. What else is new over? I mean, Tron. Let's talk about
Tron is excellent. It's just a very, very short ride. Very short. Yeah.
And probably a very, very long wait.
So yeah, because it's not virtual queue anymore, I haven't been on it since they got rid of the virtual queue.
Really?
So
what's your daily time for that?
I've seen over an hour, 75 minutes. It gets crazy.
Yeah, well, especially
so like unless I have a friend visiting, I'm not gonna wait in line.
Gotcha. Well, again, if you're there every 2 weeks, it's
right? I mean, whatever. Yeah, right.
Yeah, and again, you're there all this time, so you know when the best times to get on these rides are too. So
like rope drop or right before park close is the best time to always go on the bigger rides.
Oh, absolutely! When everybody's lined up to see the fireworks,
yes, definitely.
That's the time to do it.
That's a perk as being a local here is like you just know when you want to go and want to get on things.
Yeah. Yeah. So now what else is going on over at Magic Kingdom?
So last year they also renovated Country Bear Jamboree to Country Bear Musical Jamboree. Okay. And they did that very well. It's all now Disney music that the bears sing, which is also really good. Okay. The soundtrack is excellent. So that was another one that people were a little upset about, but I thought it was okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think things do need to update to be relevant.
Oh yeah, of course.
That's the thing. And now, did I don't know if it was California or Florida. Did Haunted Mansion get the update on the Bride?
Not at Magic Kingdom, but only in Disneyland.
Only at Disneyland. I assume.
Now, speaking of Magic Kingdom, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad will be closed for the remainder of the year because of a major project that they're doing with their track. So that ride will be closed for the rest of the year.
Now, when you say a major project that they're doing with the track, are they mixing some things up, or they're just replacing?
I don't know if they're adding like the effects from California, what they have in Anaheim.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that's just a rumor, but right now some of the track pieces are out of the ground and they're just working on things. But it's going to be closed for the rest of the year.
So that's not a ride to look forward to this summer.
No, unfortunately.
No. Now, what you call it? So, Magic Kingdom is getting Villains.
Villains Land, yes.
And that's the only thing in Magic Kingdom, or they're getting the Cars thing too, right?
Yeah, they're getting Villains and Cars. Yep.
Now, where are those going, or what are they replacing, if that matters?
So Villains Land is going to be going behind Big Thunder Mountain.
Okay.
And then Cars is going to be replacing the River Belle and Tom Sawyer Island.
So over in that sector of the park, then.
Yeah, which is weird because the day that I went to go ride Tiana's over the summer, Tom Sawyer Island doesn't open until 11 o'clock, so that's like a whole area of the park that doesn't open for like the first couple hours.
Yeah.
So to me, that makes sense to get rid of it if it's not going to be open and you're not going to get people back there.
Well, I think what I don't understand is for the Cars thing, why don't they just get rid of the Autopia and put it there? I think that would be.
I just don't know if they have the space with Tron over there. That's the thing.
Got you. Because I've been on the Autopia a few times, and it's mediocre at best.
The only time I go on it is during Christmas time when they have the Christmas lights up on the track.
It's not something that's worth the wait.
No.
Unless, I guess if you have a little kid, sure. But I mean, it'd be better. It would be better for Cars. It would be much better for Cars. But then, so they're going back. So I think they're killing Tom Sawyer's Island and all that stuff right there.
Yes, and also the River Belle, the riverboat.
So the riverboat's going.
Yep, that's going too.
Any word? Because see, here's the thing: where do these things retire to? That's something so iconic and so huge. You're not just going to chuck that.
I wonder if they would. This is just speculation. I don't wonder if they could remove the River Belle and make that for the new to update the Fantasmic finale and use the River Belle for the characters.
Yeah,
that would be cool. Like a little piece of Magic Kingdom, and then with all the Fantasmic characters on there.
Yeah. Because I also heard about them putting that over just in the Big Lagoon too. Maybe the boat can go in there. I don't know, but it rides on the track, so I don't know if that really would be doable.
Yeah, they didn't announce a closing date though for those yet, so I don't know when they're going to close.
And that's the thing. And here we go back to this. We're having this conversation. Everyone was upset when they heard it. Tom Sawyer. And honestly, I've been to Disney.
I'm okay with it.
I've never been on.
Me neither. The one day I went to go and it was closed.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I don't know what they have on it. So Anthony, if you want to elaborate, what's on there? I don't know. I don't know what's on Tom Sawyer's Island. I don't know. But I mean, I think the Villains Land. This is the whole thing. Is that Disney? It's great that they're doing this Villains Land. And I mean, I guess if you want to look at competition-wise, that's going to be what's competing with the monsters over at
Epic Universe. Yeah.
You know?
Or at Epic Universe, you said, or
at Epic Universe. Well, Universe.
Monsters Inc. Land too, though, will definitely be competing for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, for like that horror, dark element, like the adults really dig all that stuff. Like the Disney villains are huge. So, I'm gonna go back to Epic Universe. They're gonna have that big like Dracula's Mansion ride, and like the village and everything. So I'm kind of curious to see what like the center of what this land is going to be like. You haven't heard any speculation on what they're going to actually have there, have you?
For the Cars, Larry, you said, or
well, for Villains.
Well, I'm not sure. I thought they said they were going to start construction this year, but nothing's been totally confirmed when that's going to start yet.
Right. There's nothing on there. Food stand. That's only. Oh, I guess that's about. I guess that's Tom Sawyer's.
The sad part is he's right, but it's always closed.
It's only open for Christmas and New Year's. So
like I said, that one day I went to go do Tom Sawyer's. I got to the park at like 9:30, 10 o'clock, and they're like, "We don't open until 11." I'm like, I'm leaving at like 1 o'clock. I ain't staying.
Well, you see, and that's the thing too. Is like, some of these things that are unopened, and there's so much real estate there, And I think having more attractions will kill some of the lines too. I mean, you're always going to have long lines, but you're going to do lines.
I just think that having that area closed for like the first 2 hours of park opening, that's just not okay. Like they need to have people back there.
Yeah, you're right. So I think, and again, not knocking it, I think there needs to be more choices. You know,
Right.
what do you, what do you do? Disney. So someone, Aura, Disney World is never closed. What do you do when Disney World's
So
closed?
the water parks are the only thing that close if the weather's under 70.
There you go.
Like today, actually, speaking of the weather, we were at 31 degrees today around noon.
Wow.
Yep, it was cold today. It was we saw our breath almost all day. It was cold.
Which must be some. Because what's the normal temp down there? I mean,
Normal like during like when it's cooler out, like
yeah.
usually the 50s or so, and it was in the 31 today.
Wow.
Like I was legit just drinking hot chocolate.
So
This is
definitely,
Orlando. I mean,
definitely feel for different feel for the park. So, no, so yeah, there's so much stuff, and I mean, listen, there's gonna be so much more we can talk about. So let me ask you while we're doing this,
Yeah.
right? What? So you mentioned your dad's video of going to parks and stuff, but what is it? What is it? Your real love for Disney that keeps you going back to go there? Because I mean, I travel a distance to get there, and I'm good for like 2 or 3 days, and I'm like, okay, I'm out. Because like, how many times?
I mean now I'm like that, but like I just love the entertainment. I love a good show. I love parades. I'm a huge entertainment person. I love shows.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Gotcha. And I mean,
love shows.
they have a lot. Did you get to see the Christmas show that they did?
Which one? I mean, I go like the Christmas is when I go the most. I go like every 2 days
The one
to
with
get
the
things
Muppet.
done.
Did you see the Jollywood Night?
Oh yeah, I went Jollywood Nights. I went.
Yeah.
It's good. Kermit sounds a little weird, but it's good. It's very good though. It's a great show. I made sure I got front row. I loved it. It was so
Nice.
good.
Nice. Do you have video of that on your page too?
Yep, everything is.
Fantastic.
The Christmas is definitely my favorite time to go to the parks because everything is just amazing. So I overdo it and I go like every other day. I force myself to go after work because even if I'm tired to see everything, it's just the best time to go. It's my favorite.
No, I've never been there, but I mean, it must be something to see because they really probably Disneyfy the whole thing. But I mean, also the Halloween time is pretty good too, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm more of a Christmas guy. Halloween is good, but I just prefer Christmas over Halloween.
Gotcha. Now, so outside of Disney, so Universal you get to, right?
No, I don't have passes to Universal. SeaWorld I go a lot.
So what's going on over at SeaWorld? I haven't been to SeaWorld in God knows how many years.
So SeaWorld is a lot different from Disney, but their shows are top notch. That's for sure. Their entertainment is really good.
Gotcha. And they don't have any more of the animals; those are all gone.
No, they have animals. They have a sea lion show, a dolphin show, orcas. They have all that.
I thought they got rid of all those. Like,
Nope.
Oh.
And they also have Sesame Street as well.
Yeah, that I knew that they had.
Yeah.
And that's not much. I mean, are there rides there, or is it just like the?
They have 6 big coasters and kids rides in Sesame Street.
Okay, so it's almost kind of like a mini Sesame Place inside SeaWorld.
Right, but more theme park because if I remember, Sesame Place was more like a water park.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right. But have they added bigger rides since I've last been? Like,
there are 2 roller coasters.
that's it.
And they're not big roller coasters.
No. So that kind of reminds me like of a Legoland a little bit.
Well, how? So good. I'm glad you brought that up. What is Legoland like down in Florida?
Okay, I went one time and it was cool to see all the Lego displays, but if you're going for thrill, it's not for you.
There's not really. It's a lot.
But if you like visual stuff and like to see things, like I still had fun. I enjoyed it. I would go back again. But if you're expecting to go on thrill and see thrill stuff, it's not for you.
Yeah, because we have a Legoland here in New York that opened.
I heard about that. Where in New York?
Up in Orange County. I heard Legoland is not for older kids. Yeah, so like
Yeah, it's true.
So there's like one like dragon coaster.
But wait, Legoland where in New York?
In Goshen, New York. It's up in Orange County, probably about an hour and a half out of New York City. Up there.
Oh, because I'm actually going up north next week. I was like, I would love, but they're probably closed right now for the winter.
Yeah.
I forgot that up north they closed. I'm not using it anymore.
I think they were open a little bit for Christmas, and then it would be. Oh well, here, Aura wrote this. So you're coming up there, American Dream Mall down in Jersey. Have you been to Nickelodeon?
My sister just went, and I'm like, you couldn't wait one more week for me to go. I want to go, but I just don't know, like, if I would like the vibe that they have. It's just rides, I think, like, no entertainment wise, and
they have like a little stage show there.
Do they?
Come out. But I don't know, like they do some songs and dances. I mean, I go to American Dream not regular, but often enough that
I mean, I see it whenever I go to Giant Games.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's so going back to, I mean, if you want to walk around like a cool place and stuff, if you have the day to kill and not necessarily, you can walk through. You don't have to pay to go into Nickelodeon Land or whatever Nickelodeon. You can walk through it. You have to pay to get the bracelet or whatever to get on the rides. That you have to do.
Yeah, but how much is it to like get in for a day? I heard it was like $45.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't have you could just walk the park, walk the loop, and not go on any of the rides. If you want to go on the rides, then I think you have to buy the $45.
So wait, you have to buy the ticket, then pay to go on rides?
Well, you got to pay the admission for the park, but you could
Right.
just walk through the park and just like take in the visuals. So
I mean, that's what I would probably do.
I've done that a few times if you don't want to go on the rides. But they have a lot there. I mean, if you're looking for content for your vlogs, like you got that. There's a Sesame. They just opened a Sesame Street like play area
At Nickelodeon Universe.
No. In this in the American Dream Mall, there's a Sesame Street.
Wow.
They have
a water park.
They have the DreamWorks
and a hockey rink.
A hockey rink, skiing. Oh god, there's all kinds of mini golf and entertainment. There's all kinds of things.
I might need to make a trip up there next week.
There's a very mediocre Toys R Us because it's not the Toys R Us that you and I both know from our childhoods. But
those were the days.
Exactly. But yeah, there's definitely stuff to see in American Dream Mall. So if you're there, so thank you, Aura, for bringing that up. And there.
Yeah, no, I definitely want to try to go next week if I could.
Yeah, whereabouts in Jersey are you coming up to?
So I am from Central Jersey by like Middletown, Red Bank area.
Oh, okay. By the Secret Stash, Jay and Bob.
Yes, I live like 10 minutes away from that. I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about.
You're a Jersey person then.
Yep.
Especially if you're from that neighborhood.
I have a close friend of mine that loves to go there all the time.
Yeah. So good stuff. So
Absolutely.
no, there is a lot of content out there for Disney, and I mean, obviously, with what we're talking about tonight, we were just kind of like glazing upon the fun of what Disney World is, and there's so much more to come. Let me ask you, because you live down in Florida, how far do you live from the parks? Any of them?
So I used to actually live 15 minutes away, but then I met my girlfriend 3 years ago, and she has a job over by the airport, so we moved out here now. So I'm 30 minutes away, so it's good to be that far away, so I'm not there constantly all the time. So it's nice to live 30 minutes away versus 15, honestly.
Now let me ask you this too, because I'm going someplace with this.
Sure.
So Universal's not far from you, I guess, right?
Universal's 20 minutes, and so is SeaWorld.
So tell me, have you seen the Flying Dragons? Because I've been seeing videos online.
No, but whenever I pass Epic Universe on my way home, sometimes I'm like, oh my god, there it is. It's just like, it's like, wow, it's like right in front of me.
Oh, it's really nice. Like right on the highway.
I've seen it because I take like for my transportation when I go home from work, like sometimes we'll pass it, and it's just so cool to see it in person. Wow. It's so cool.
Yeah, because I've seen there's videos, and this is like the most intriguing thing. And going back to that whole kite tails thing, at least hopefully these flying dragons aren't the disaster that the kite tails were. But,
people would definitely go back to Disney.
But yeah, I guess like they have they're puppets, drones, whatever, but they have actual flying dragons.
I think it's drones. I'm not sure on that. But I have been watching one specific channel on all the construction update, and it's just cool to see it finally just about done. And
yeah.
I never went to the construction site because I don't drive, so like I don't want to get like in trouble if I'm walking in an area where I shouldn't be.
Yeah.
So, but I wanted to cover the construction like up close, but it's just like I'm not risking getting in trouble.
Yeah, of course. I mean, but you look at a lot of those videos, it's people who are like doing like the Google Earth thing, satellite thing.
Yeah, and they know somebody who just does like above shot footage and.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. There's a lot of those. There's a lot of people down there doing that.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's an expert. But again,
yep.
You come to Florida, there's so much good stuff there. And I mean, you come down to New Jersey or come up to New Jersey, go to American Dream and go to the Secret Stash.
I'm very tempted to go look into prices and do it next week, honestly.
Go for it.
I'm very tempted. I might try to get a couple friends together and go.
It's going to be cold outside. Go someplace warm. Have fun.
I could just take the train to Secaucus and I'm there, right? I think.
Exactly. Yeah, there's transportation right there. So definitely. So awesome. So no, Rich, this was great tonight. This
Absolutely.
We whet our appetite for the summer. I think some people that tuned in got some thoughts about what they want to do. Or I hope you get to Florida soon. But yeah, no, we definitely need to do this again as more stuff.
Yeah, and more people too. Maybe that would be awesome.
Oh, absolutely. We have some other.
Oh, by the way, I wanted to show something. Thank you again for this. I still have it.
That's right. That's right. The courage picture.
I still have it.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Absolutely.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. And Anthony, who's watching us, we want to get you. We'll have you come on here. We can do it.
Yeah, absolutely. If he wants to join me and him, are like really close friends.
Yeah, we'll do. Like
we go to the parks together a lot. We go all the time.
We'll do like a Disney vlogger summit. How does that?
Yep,
sound?
that sounds awesome.
So no, Rich, thank you so much for doing this tonight. This was good. I hope you had a good time doing it.
Oh, very good time. I appreciate you having me on.
And look how we flew. We rocked and rolled tonight.
How many people are watching?
Well, we've had people come in and out. Right now, it looks like we have like maybe 5 people that are currently in here. But people can
nice.
in there. But we've been on for almost an hour.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So a lot of fun. But we'll definitely do this again.
Definitely.
And for everybody who tuned in tonight, thanks for tuning in. Go visit Rich's Theme Park and Travel over on YouTube.
Yep, Rich's Theme Parks and Travel.
Theme Parks and Travel, check that out. Formerly Mickey Blueshirt, so they may find some other videos like that. Anthony, yes, we'll definitely get you on here. And you know, get ready. And when I go to Florida, I'll probably reach out to you when we get down.
Yeah, just let me know if you want, and we'll meet up one day. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I might make some videos too. That was.
So what?
I might make some videos in Florida.
Yeah, absolutely. Do it. It's definitely fun.
Definitely good stuff. So again, everybody, thank you so much. This was very educational. Good. I'm glad you got something out of that, Aura. So again, thank you everybody for tonight. Rich, we'll hang out here for a minute once we end the stream, and we'll see you all next time on Incredichat. Have a good night.
Thank you again for having me.
You bet.